For a long time, criminal courts have really brought havoc upon African Americans, in particular the men. That's why we have so many brothers and sisters locked up, especially black men in the United States. And typically for the same crimes committed between blacks and whites, what we have historically seen is that blacks usually get harsher penalties in comparisons to whites. And this includes a lot of the effery from the top, putting blacks on one side of the city, giving them less resources, giving more efforts for crime to be creating a situation where criminal activity will fester, and then punishing blacks more for what they do. It's unfortunate, and we've been fighting this ever since seems like slavery ended. But now let me position this to you. Storytime music! Imagine you had a country, and in this country, you would let people come over who didn't even pay taxes. And when they came over into the country, what we would do is, if they commit crimes, we would give them more opportunities to still get citizenship, even if they created the most heinous crimes. What would you think about that? You'd probably think that's a movie, or it's a Netflix skit, or it's a YouTube skit. Yeah, you probably would think it. But there is one state dumb enough to do it. Drum roll, please. My home state of California. Play that clip.
California Democrats set to advance a new bill using taxpayer funds to protect violent, illegal immigrants. I'm not kidding, from deportation. Our next guest says enough is enough. California Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez joins us now. Assemblywoman, thanks so much for joining us. So what would this bill do?
So it would give first of all, Brian, thanks for having me. It would give hardworking taxpayer dollars to fund and expand a program that would allow criminals, illegal alien criminals that have been convicted, to stay in California. And not only that, it would expand it to those across the United States that express the intent to come to California to live.
So I understand it was put on the floor yesterday. People are working this bill. This has got a shot?
So, okay, we saw this bill late Saturday night amended and pushed through the Judiciary Committee, which we would have seen this morning. However, the author has pulled the bill because we sounded the alarms and involved the community and the people of California, and the response was overwhelming. So as of now, it's shelved. It's not dead, but it's shelved. So we need to stay vigilant and engage in this process.
Absolutely. I mean, it shouldn't even been proposed. It's unbelievable that the person thinks that there'll be a resonance for it. So the definition of violent, serious crimes in California: murder, rape, assault with a deadly weapon, and kidnapping. So let's give that person some cash to rehab themselves. One of the sponsors had this to say, Reggie Jones Sawyer, and here is the quote: "As long as I have been in the state office, I've worked towards ensuring that people are given a second chance. The Rep for All Immigrants Act ensures racial justice and truly equitable access to crucial immigration services for all, even people that don't belong here, even criminals that show they shouldn't be here."
I have to tell you, honestly, our California voters and people across the nation deserve transparency. They deserve to know their hardworking taxpayer dollars are going, especially times such as now, are going to things that we want to reward in California, not to expand a program that would have allowed convicted illegal immigrants to stay here. This is just, it blows my mind. Honestly, it was one of those bills that you have to read 2 to 3 times. And it was shocking all the way through. If
I was to put a number on how many in the Assembly were prepared to vote for this, do you have an idea?
Well, everybody up until last night, around 10 or 11, were prepared to vote for this today. And in fact, I think it's a good testament to the people, the public that got engaged, that got involved and engaged early, that they put shelved this bill. So, I mean, I would just say it's incredible. Let's keep it up. And we need to stay vigilant on these kind of bills that are coming through California, because it affects the nation eventually.
What an embarrassment that it was offered. Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez, thanks for bringing attention to us and getting up early for us today.
When I saw the YouTube title, I thought it was a joke. But guys, that's actually real. And in my state, even though California is a liberal state, nobody throws the book at black men like California. They give dudes football numbers in Cali. 3 strikes, you're out. I mean, it's terrible. You never want to get a felony in the state of California. Talking about career suicide. And many black men have been convicted, can't even get financial aid, can't get federal grants, depending on what kind of crimes they have. But these people, they were trying to do this on the low, giving the opportunities to migrants to commit crimes. And do you know who was trying to let that happen? That was a brother. That's a black guy. The black man was saying, listen, we need to have freedom and rights for all. For what? These ain't citizens. These are people who are coming over from other countries who would never let you do that in their country. Trust me, let me say this. Storytime music. I live in Uganda, right? Shout out to Uganda. Give them a round of applause. I love this place. I am passionate about this place in this lovely continent. But I am an immigrant. I'm not a migrant. I'm an immigrant. It's a little bit different. I immigrated here, but I had some skills. I was in college, and I need to come over and do something in this country, something positive. Now, I'm not saying that immigrants or migrants don't do that in the case of what's happening in America. The migrants are coming over that are pretty much homeless and have no resources. That wasn't me. But as an immigrant, don't you know that I cannot do any kind of activities that a Ugandan can get away with? Never. Anything that somebody would do that's a citizen of this country and they catch me doing it, wanna know who's in big trouble? Me. One word, starts with a D, ends in D. Deported. They are not having that shit here, all right? And to make it even worse, they might even ass whooping sound effects. They might even whoop your ass too on the way out of being deported. You can't be disrespecting people here. You can't be doing criminal activity here. And that was the same case for me when I was in Poland. The EU doesn't play around at all. There were certain things that Polish guys got away with that me, I could never do. But do you ever think that Poland would pass a law like that, giving migrants the opportunity to come over to their country and commit more crimes than the citizens and be able to stay? Hell no. I know some dudes from Nigeria that used to live with in Poland, and they got hit with money laundering charges, a money laundering scheme. One of the dudes ended up buying an Audi or something like that, 3 or 4 Audis, spending hell of money in the club. I mean, he brought a lot of attention to himself, and he got it. Want to know what they did? Man, they damn near put that dude underneath the jail, him and his girl. And I think right now he's still in jail. Want to know where he's going when he gets out? Back to Nigeria. That's exactly where they sent his ass back to. There was no plan. They were trying to send a strong message. If you come here with that stuff, it's over. Countries like China and some of the Asian countries like Bali, be dumb enough to go over there and get a drug conviction. Thailand. Want to know what you get? The death penalty. We'll be singing your praises in a church with black suits on. Not even playing that. But not California. Let's punish citizens, in particular African-American citizens, and give them football numbers in which we'll give them life. But for migrants that want to come over here and act stupid, we're gonna give you one more chance. One more chance. Yeah, one more chance. But you know what? Thankfully, they shot that down. And that needs to be shot down. Like what's going on in New York City right now and some of the crime waves, you even have some of the migrants attacking police officers. And you want to know what? New York City is a sanctuary city. So they're emboldened to do it over again. And what happens if that criminality starts reaching what is left of the African-American community in California? Want to know what that is? Big time, big ass problems, which your boy don't want to be a part of. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.